Olivia from Liv's Healthy Life, and today I'm showing you a last minute DIY. Well, it's homemade food, so obviously it's DIY. It's gonna be chocolate brownie bliss balls and peppermint bark. So what you're gonna need is some cashews, some pitted dates. Some of them were pitted, but some of them I had to take the pits out of, so you wanna make sure that all the pits are out of them. And then some cocoa and maple syrup, and then just like a decorative jar. So it's really simple. All you're going to do is put your cashews and, well, all the ingredients, I guess, into your food processor. If you're not using medjool dates, like if your dates are pretty hard, you might want to soak them in warm water for like half an hour before you try and blend them, just because unless your food processor is really amazing, like you might just make the motor work really hard to blend it. So yeah, just see if you have soft dates. And then I'm just blending it, and yeah, so it should look like this when it's done. If you've ever seen a Lara bar, that's kind of what we're going for, like the texture of it. So you want it to be sticky, but you know, not so sticky that I don't really know what I'm trying to say. You want it to be sticky enough that it sticks together, but not like wet. There we go. So yes, and then you're just going to take pieces of it and roll it into balls. Once you're done with that, you're just going to, this is totally optional, but I think it just makes it look really decorative and a little bit more fancy. So you're just going to take some mini chocolate chips, or you can use like coconut or crushed nuts, or even like cut up dried fruit, anything you want really, and roll the balls in it. And I also think rolling them in cocoa makes them look really fancy too. It makes them look like little truffles, which I really like. So yeah, I will show you what they look like. So this is just one rolled in chocolate chips, and then those are ones rolled in cocoa. So, and then those few are just plain. So yeah, you can see, I think it's nice to make them all look a little bit different, just because it's, I don't know, it's for a gift, and it's, the whole point of it is that it looks kind of fancy and decorative. So yeah, obviously the other whole point is that it tastes good, but trust me, they'll taste good. Okay, so then part 2 for this gift is the peppermint bark, and you really need like 3 ingredients. So you're just using vegan chocolate chips and crushed candy canes and some coconut oil. The coconut oil is optional, but I find it just helps everything melt a lot better, and it helps it get a little bit more crisp when you put it in the freezer. So yeah, you just want to microwave it until it's melted, and then when it's almost melted, you can just stir it and it'll just like melt up really quickly. I also show a little bit more detailed how to do this in my almond butter cups video if you wanted to see a little bit more detailed how to melt chocolate. And then you just want to put it in like a wax paper or parchment paper lined pan. And yeah, just dump it all out, and however much you use, it'll kind of depend on how big of a pan you need, but you're going to want to spread it. I mean, it's up to you how thick you want it, but I like mine thin enough that I can break it with my hands, but you know, not so thin that it's like just gonna melt as soon as you pick it up. So I think mine was probably like a 1/4 inch thick, I want to say. I didn't measure it or anything like that, but I just eyeballed it, and I'm going to say about a 1/4 inch. And then you can take your candy cane, also crushed nuts again, and like dried fruit and coconut. Those all work, but peppermint and chocolate is just so good, and I think pretty much all or most candy canes are vegan by default, so that's perfect. And then you just want to pop that in the freezer for like probably an hour, and then you want to store this all in the fridge. But basically, to put the gift together, you just want to put all of the balls. I would store them in the fridge too, just because they can get a little bit soft. So yeah, you want to put them in the container, and then when your peppermint bark is done, you can just take that out and break it up. It breaks up pretty easily. Yeah, as you can see, I'm having no problem. So yeah, you just break it up and then add that to your jar. And of course you can do like one or the other here if you want. I mean, you don't have to do both of them, but I think it looks really cute with two different kinds of candies in the jar. I don't know. Anyways, here's just a slower version of what it looks like. Feel free to make this however you want. Like, you could make like a tropical version with like candied mango and pineapple and coconut. I was thinking about that. That'd be really cool. But yeah, this is my little Christmassy version, so I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.